Well, it's happening right before Trump takes office. This is all on purpose, of course. NATO and the U.S. deep state actively pushing Russia beyond its red line while setting up America for a no-win scenario. We've got a few big news stories to get to in a second, but first, this escalation happening just weeks before Donald Trump is set to take office on January 20th. Coincidence? It appears deliberate, in my opinion. From false flag drone incursions to economic chaos, there's a coordinated effort to tie Trump's hands and trigger a hot war with Russia right now, or one of its closest allies like Iran or China. Meanwhile, Trump's policies, pulling back from NATO, securing peace, closing our borders, even bringing Bitcoin into America's strategic reserves, have globalists right now scrambling to try to tie his hands. You're hearing it in Canada, right? You're hearing the outrage in Germany, all around the world. And of course, it's much bigger than anyone in the mainstream media even cares to admit right now. So let's get this straight. NATO is pushing us into a full-on disaster as we speak. They're crossing red lines that Vladimir Putin has warned about since day one. And over the past 24 hours, we're getting reports from Moscow and Russia that NATO is building up massive numbers of forces near Russia's borders, pushing beyond Putin's red line of no return. They're doing this all quietly while you're getting ready for your Christmas holiday, so you're not even paying attention. Of course, the Western press is totally silent about this. But independent sources that we've talked to are now confirming that number one, NATO has moved advanced missile systems into place. Number two, NATO forces, including American soldiers, are now pouring into Europe. In fact, we're hearing from military sources that families are getting notices for new deployments in Europe, readying for something big. They're being told, shh, keep this quiet. And number three, the U.S. has sent military advisors to Eastern Europe to coordinate operations closer and closer to the front lines. This is what Putin has repeatedly said would trigger severe retaliation. And last night, Putin accused the United States of seeking to, quote, weaken our country and inflict strategic defeat on Moscow by continuing to, quote, pump a de facto illegitimate ruling regime in Ukraine with weapons and money, sending mercenaries and military advisors, thereby encouraging further escalation of the conflict, end quote. Ouch. As Professor Jeffrey Sachs recently told Tucker Carlson, this war was provoked, and NATO's actions are pushing us toward an outcome that no one wants except those profiting from endless war.
Ukraine is really a red line. Don't do it. It's not just Putin. It's not just Putin's government. It's the entire political class of Russia. And just to help all of us as we think about it, it is exactly as if Mexico said, we think it would be great to have Chinese military bases on the Rio Grande. We can't see why the U.S. would have any problem with that. Of course, we would go completely insane.
And he's right. NATO's warmongers don't care about peace. They care about power and profits. And here's what really infuriates me about this whole thing. This is all happening deliberately, weeks before Trump takes office. He won the election in a landslide with a mandate. This is to try to force his administration into a corner, forcing him into a war that he doesn't want.
Just as importantly, bringing back empowerment will give us a crucial tool with which to obliterate the deep state, drain the swamp, and starve the warmongers, these people that want wars all over the place, killing, killing, killing. They love killing. And the globalists out of our government. We're going to get the warmongers and the globalists out of our government.
Now let's talk about the drones. For weeks now, mysterious drones have been spotted over the United States military bases, nuclear plants, critical infrastructure. So what in the world is happening here? Who's behind it all? Well, the Biden administration isn't saying a word about it, but here's the truth. As I've been warning for months on this show, this was coming. This smells like a false flag psyop, a pretext to try to frame Russia or Iran as the aggressors. It's a setup. The deep state trying to lay out the groundwork to push us into a hot war before Trump can stop it. There are reports that nuclear material has gone missing or intentionally set off like a dirty bomb, and that's why these drones are searching at nighttime when they normally can't see anything, using radioactive material sensors to try to find missing radioactive material. Then all we need to do, of course, is blame it on Russia And then game on. False flag attack on America complete. Mission accomplished. Think about it for a second. Trump has vowed to end the war in Ukraine, scale back NATO significantly. He's calling on the Pentagon to expose these drones, who's flying them and why. The timing isn't an accident. They're trying to force Trump into a war that he doesn't want and can't win politically. It's sabotage, pure and simple. Trump on Monday said the Biden administration knows exactly where these drones are from.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey and the ports? And it seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
But it gets worse, because if you're still wondering how deep this rabbit hole actually goes, look no further than the economy. The Biden administration has been outright lying to the American people. And I'm not being hyperbolic here. The Philadelphia Federal Reserve just revealed that every single job that Biden claimed was created in Q2 was fake. That's right. All of it a lie. 0 jobs, nothing. They manufactured the numbers to sell us the illusion of a booming economy while hardworking Americans struggle with sky-high inflation, crippling interest rates, and collapsing small businesses. It's all a lie. It's infuriating. These lies are deliberate. The economy is not fine, no matter how many press conferences they hold. They're terrified because Trump has the solutions. Peace through strength, not endless war. Reinvest that money back home. End all of these regulations. Sovereign economic policies that put America first. Ending deep state control of the country. Giving Americans the power to use whatever currency or alternatives they like Bitcoin and gold, to settle transactions. So now we get to the part that's sending shockwaves, though, through the system. Trump's bold proposal to bring Bitcoin into America's strategic reserves. This was like a bomb that went off in Washington. It broke earlier this week that Trump is seriously considering Bitcoin as a hedge against the collapsing U.S. dollar. The result? Bitcoin skyrocketed to $107,000 per Bitcoin.
Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, even beyond your expectations.
And it's just the beginning. Now, why is this so important? Well, because Bitcoin represents financial freedom outside the corrupt Federal Reserve system. It positions the United States as a leader in the new global crypto economy. And even if you're not a big fan of Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the ability to transact the way that you want to, in secret, in private, and do it yourself, that is freedom. And most importantly, it strips power away from the deep state and these centralized bankers that want to track everything you do. That's why the establishment is losing their ever-loving minds this week. Trump's plan threatens everything they stand for: endless wars, financial manipulation, total control. Add to that his vow to pull back NATO, secure peace, and expose the drone PSYOP program, and you can see why the deep state is panicking. They are pissed. Bottom line, NATO is pushing us into war with Russia before Trump takes office. Biden's economic lies are collapsing in real time, and the deep state is using false flag drones to manipulate us or hide something, hide their real agenda. We don't know exactly what it is. They are desperate to try to stop Trump before January 20th because his policies, peace, financial sovereignty, exposing corruption, threaten their entire agenda. It's disgusting. As Professor Jeffrey Sachs just warned, we are sleepwalking into catastrophe because the people making these decisions aren't accountable to the American public. We need to wake up, folks. We need to stay informed. We need to stay vigilant. Don't let them drag us into a war that we can't afford. Don't fall for these false flags. So that's the news update. Now I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is tied directly to Trump's Bitcoin plan in the United States, which includes, by the way, massive amounts of new electricity in the United States and competing with China. Now, to start off with, this was a record year for the stock market, no doubt about it. Indices surging, including the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, gold, Bitcoin, housing, all of it. It was an incredible year for investors, making valuations incredibly high across the board as I speak. Therefore, what I was looking for prior to publishing this crucial video was a company that is actually down hard right now, trading near its 52-week lows, or preferably all-time lows. I have searched long and hard for that in my portfolio. In other words, I was looking for what I believed was a compelling opportunity to bring to you, and I'm thrilled to show you the only company that I believe is significantly undervalued at this time. in my personal view. Now, this video comes right after the company issued 2 positive news releases, which I believe are dramatic in my opinion. That's why I asked them to sponsor today's video. That company is Hillcrest Energy Technologies. Here is their ticker on your screen. And guys, in my opinion, this is a crucial moment for investors. We have Donald Trump ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange, signaling the emphasis that incoming administration will put on growth, technology, disruption, dropping regulations, which I believe should dramatically help companies that have innovative solutions in the energy sector. That's where Hillcrest comes in. Okay, Hillcrest has a market cap of only $12 million US, yet it owns a potentially revolutionary technology that could change electricity production globally. Now, I personally believe this is an early stage opportunity with immense upside potential since it has proprietary patent filings with disruptive impact and several initiatives right now that are already in the pipeline. This company has already spent over $20 million developing this one-of-a-kind proprietary software and hardware combination. So its market cap is 40% below the R&D spend, which is unheard of as far as I know. Investors can buy shares today with a market cap of $12 million after the company had already spent $20 million. Wow. Think about that for a second. That right there was striking to me, okay? It's a core reason that I feel obligated to present this to you today. So Hillcrest is the very first company to figure out how to virtually eliminate switching losses when converting electricity from DC to AC power and then vice versa. In other words, when solar panels produce energy and then it's stored in those batteries or used by a business or a household, there's an energy loss, okay, during that conversion period. So this first piece of breaking news from the company is that the ZVS traction inverter prototype, which converts direct current, DC, from the battery into alternating current, AC, to power the electric motor, is setting new benchmarks for EV performance by achieving, number 1, superior inverter efficiency up to 99.7%. That's crazy. Number 2, minimizing energy loss, virtually eliminating the switching losses and reducing energy waste. Number 3, delivering low electromagnetic interference, simplifies the system design and enhances the reliability. Then number 4, optimizing semiconductor utilization, resulting in substantial cost savings. These advancements alone provide real-world benefits for EV manufacturers and consumers alike. And number 5, extended range. Every 1% improvement in powertrain efficiency can increase EV range by up to 2%. Based on results reported by multiple automotive manufacturers. That's big news. And number 6, reduced energy consumption. So enhanced efficiency lowers battery demand, cutting costs, boosting sustainability. It's great all across the board. The Trump era is all about efficiency, increasing the use of electricity. And what better fit than Hillcrest Energy Technologies in that Trump era, which was able to somehow crack this monumental feat of achieving zero voltage switching and is yet to be contended by or with any other competitor right now. So that just shows you the talented engineers behind this accomplishment. Hillcrest has figured out a way with proprietary technology to virtually eliminate switching losses called zero voltage switching. So up until now, this only existed in a laboratory environment. Hillcrest has now brought this to the market for the very first time. The only commercial inverter prototype of its kind in the world. Again, they have patents filed, okay? Only $12 million market cap. The first ever and only company to achieve commercial inverter prototype with their zero voltage switching. It's hard to say. Zero voltage switching. Try to say that 5 times fast. And as far as I know, they are years ahead of any competitor in this field. So they have first mover advantage here. And then electric vehicle manufacturers, solar wind farm owners, data center operators, each local grid that we're talking about, the entire basically global electricity marketplace are always looking to crack the holy grail for this problem. All these guys want in the industry is zero wasted energy and minimal electromagnetic interference, but no one, and I mean no one, in the past 120 years has succeeded in producing commercial zero voltage switching and an inverter prototype. None of them. Hillcrest has figured it out. And they're already in talks, by the way, with some of the largest electric vehicle manufacturers in the world. So guys, just write this stock ticker down. Okay, just write it down. Keep your eyes on it. Remember, you're learning about this before any major partnerships have been announced or deals, okay? Guys, do your own due diligence on this company. Study their history. Study this technology. Again, I'll have links in the description of today's video, and you can dive more deeply into this company. And keep your eye on this one, guys. And we'll see you next time.